Visual Audio Project Blending Learning 日本語 by
Eri Kato-Morcom and
Yasuyo Kawashima. So we focus two viewpoints. 1. How schools use ICT effectively in classrooms and how can they achieve quality teaching in their lessons. 2. How to engage students using ICT in classroom environment. We chose Boki and Padlet after we tested several Web 2.0 programs. Because students can create their own creations, this means teacher can make student-centered learning environment and encourage their participation in the classroom activities. Also, students learn on their individual levels and teacher can give them suitable support individually. Though there are some negative points of Boki and Padlet, such as pronunciation or typing, there are also alternative options to fix those problems. So what is a visual audio project? This is the teacher's example that given to students in Year 9 Japanese classes. Students can submit their work using a Padlet wall individually. And also students have choices to use Boki as their recording device. This is the important 5 steps when teachers introduce Boki and Padlet to the classroom. 1. Make 5 sentences using Japanese adjective and verbs. 2. Find suitable pictures which describes your sentences. 3. Choose which recording program you use, such as smartphone or Boki, and save the file as MP4. 4. Read out the sentences you made and record your own voice. If you are using Boki to type the sentences, make sure the speech has good flow. 5. Upload your recording in a separate writing box on your Padlet wall. This is the important part for this project. For access and create Padlet wall, students need to have a Google account. If they don't have, they need to create the account using teacher's handout. Then use the name and password to access Padlet. Once they open the Padlet, create a wall to experiment writing, uploading pictures, or web links. Next step, how to create Boki. 1. Students open Boki page on the web, create the user account for themselves. 2. Students use the handout to follow step by step to create an avatar. This is a student's example from a Prague school. Look at this! Every student engaged in this activity very well. The teacher was able to put comments on each sentences they made. And also the student can share their achievement with peers and use this wall to review their learning. This student scored 24 out of 25. Though she made some spelling mistake, still the construction of her sentences and Japanese pronunciations were fantastic. We conducted survey to students for both School A and B. Both schools are co-ed public school in Sydney. However, there are many differences between them. In School A, students' socio-economic background is lower to middle class. On the other hand, most of the students in School B are from middle-class families. If we look at a learning support environment, School A has only one teacher for Japanese subject, and the teacher's expectation for students is not that high. As a result, students' learning motivation is not high. In School B, teachers' expectation and students' motivations are high. There are 2 teachers for Japanese subject and 2 native Japanese assistants. Therefore, students have chances to talk with natives and practice their speaking. This increases the students' learning interest and motivations. This may be the reason for numbers of students who choose Japanese as an elective subject. School B has more students choosing Japanese compared with School A. Lastly, compare about ICT environment. Though School A provides laptops for students, the numbers of laptops are not enough for all the students, and the internet connections are not good enough. On the other hand, School B has better internet connections and more equipment such as interactive whiteboards. In addition, both school teachers use ICT in some stage, but the way they use is teacher-centered. So this is a result of survey. Though there are many differences of learning environments between School A and B, the survey results show the similarity of students' preference for their learning. Students from both schools showed positive attitude for this audio-visual project. According to the survey, 64% of students prefer using audio and visual for their language learning. This must be one reason they show positive attitude for using Boki and Padlet. The students chose Avatar Speak Japanese instead of me as a good point of using Boki. This means learners like to have alternative choices for their learning. For Padlet, the students chose I can see peers post as a positive point. Students enjoy sharing their creation with peers and teachers. Also from our observation, this leads to the increase of students' motivation and engagement in their learning. So we also did survey to teachers. All teachers from School A and B showed positive attitude towards ICT. They believe that ICT could keep students engaged with their learning, and also ICT skills is necessity to students' future learning. However, the reality is difficult to promote ICT in their lessons. Teachers mentioned the lack of ICT equipment and the internet connections. They also feel the lack of knowledge of ICT. School teachers are always busy. They don't have time to learn and develop their ICT skills and knowledge. As a result, teacher cannot use ICT in an effective way. After we introduced and tested our project at our prac schools, we reached our conclusion for our two focus points. Point 1. How schools use ICT effectively and achieve quality teaching. Both prac schools teachers use ICT in their lessons. However, the way they use ICT was teacher-centered. EMNI 2013 argued the issues of ICT use in schools include lack of ICT environment, lack of teachers' time to develop their knowledge, and lack of teacher support. These issues were presented at both prac schools. Therefore, to be able to use ICT effectively in the classroom, schools need to improve those issues. Then teachers could create student-centered lessons using ICT and deliver effective lessons. Point 2. How to engage students using ICT in classroom environment. We introduced our project in our prac schools, and we found that our students showed great enthusiasm toward the project. One of the positive points of ICT use is tracking student work so they can look back at their work and be able to share with others. Students and teachers can exchange feedback instantly over the internet. This gives students a non-threatening connection with their teachers, and the teacher can support students according to their individual levels.